well, and I hope everyone has their wits about them. When you get emotional morning moves like this, it's always good to be prepared and even prepare more with levels and thoughts and and preparation. I know I've been up since 4:45 figuring that out. So here is the disclosure. Let's get to it. My name is Scott Redler. I'm the Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com. Welcome to today's morning call. So, I was on the road on Friday. I headed to Florida. Thank goodness I was in the office up until about 10:15, 10:30. You did get a push-through failure in the spies, which is the red dog reversal. You look right here. What's a red dog reversal? Well, anybody who's been with me for the last 10, 15, 20 years know exactly what a red dog reversal is. Anyway, look where the 8-day was. Look how extended we were. I have the FOMC on even Wednesday. So between pushing above 609.75 or 609 not holding, and the semis going red, and the weakness in the video gave you some clues at least to bring some risk down or put on some hedges. And then when I basically came off the plane around 3 o'clock, I looked, I was like, wow, we're at 608. I'm like, I sold a lot of premium. I also kept my 608 calls sold, so I made a lot of money back. And I had some SPY puts on, and I got out of stuff. So if you do look here, if you don't look at the updates, to the private Twitter, and your Redler All Access, like you really have to, by the way, these are all the charts that are coming up. I just did 35 charts. You have to look at the updates. If you don't trade for a living and you don't care, fine. You just want to get like action here and there. But I got off the plane, and right away, I'm like, I sold a lot of SPY premium. This was at 3 o'clock. I also bought SPY 607 puts. I got stopped out in NVIDIA. This was, hold on. This was like 3 o'clock. So let's go back to the, hopefully, let's go, where are we? I'm sorry. I am sorry. Let's go back. Doesn't really matter. Actually, we don't have time for this anyway. Bottom line is there's always time. There's always things to do. There's always ways to adjust. And as of right now, everyone's coming in and a little, up on, not, the stress levels are high. I get it. Stress levels are high. Why? But get excited. Days like this sometimes create a lot of opportunity. Let me just make sure that I'm still on the VTF because we have the open house. Okay, so here we are. There's a lot of banter about the DeepSeek. It's baloney. How could they do that? Da 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 da. I think Piper just came out and said that they think it's not real. Either which way, you need some kind of back and forth to have some kind of distribution anyway. And the SPYs right now, if you look here, SPYs are 595. So all we are is right here in the SPYs right now, right here. Brought back to right where we broke above the descending trend line. We're not even at, the gap up from the CPI. So, this could be a really good opportunity. Again, if you look here on the Alpha team, what have I done so far this morning? And I do have things on, so I have to figure this out also. I was short the SPYs. I've already covered a bunch. Okay, I came along Amazon. Amazon's is not great. So, but I did buy a little bit more. I came along IBIT. I did buy a little bit more. So I'm managing the process. I'm covering some shorts. I'm buying a few things on the dip. Small now, just to figure it out. So anyway, good morning, Matty Dubs. Look at all these trials coming in. That's cool. China is up because China is kind of says who figured it out. Anyway, Qs are taking on the chin a little bit more. All in all, if you go to the Qs right here, the Qs are Qs are down 18 at 511. Okay, that's a spot also. 511 is right here. That's right around all the moving averages. It was below that prior. Now it's coming back up a little bit. So this is a spot, 511.46. We'll see if it holds. We'll see how much of this gap down holds. Some think that money could rotate to the IWM. It could. You have a low here. The low here is what, 226-ish? Where's the IWM right now? The IWM is only down 2 at 226.60. So it's not even at 222. So there is some relative strength there. If you think the banks are going to show some relative strength because they have nothing to do with AI chips, well, they've been strong. 50.21 is a spot. It's above the 8-day trending nicely. Watch JP Morgan there for clues. Hit 267. See if the 8-day holds around 260. I'm not going to be so focused on on the banks. As far as mega cap tech, the Mag 7 has been outperforming for a long time. Some are like, hey, Red Dog, like Amazon's capex is going to go down, their margins are going to go up, it should skyrocket. I'm like, okay, well, it'd be nice because right now Amazon is, down a bunch. Amazon's down 850, so actually that was a good buy before. I'm up a buck 50 in that buy, but I'm also down 8 from what I took home. So right now it's a 226 above 220, above this spot. That's, so if you were so upset that you didn't own the Amazon, this could be a spot, at least for earnings. I'm in Meta options, not the stock, thank goodness. But we also traded this pretty well, I gotta say. I was buying the calls in here before the move, and I said if the move happens, I'll create a call spread. So into that, I sold calls, and it basically financed itself pretty well. So at this point, it's not, it's not great. The Meta's down. What is it down? Oh, it's only down 10 now. Wow. So if some of these things are coming back. So with that being said, be opportunistic. Okay, we're prepared here. There's no hoping, praying in trading. It's manage your positions, know what you can handle, and move those feet. So anyway, down 630 is not the end of the world. Some people do you think Apple will act better now because they didn't really do a huge AI spend? Everyone was like, oh, worried about them not doing a huge AI spend. Meanwhile, maybe they didn't waste any money. I don't know. Oh, look at that. Apple's already up 50 cents. It was only down a buck 30 before. Interesting. So will this be a turning point for Apple, or Apple held the 200-day? Will it start to show relative strength now and be better? I've been avoiding Apple pretty much this entire move lower because it was lagging. Maybe now, obviously I wish I would have bought it $1 ago, you could buy some Apple and it could start acting better. As far as Tesla, I haven't really been active in Tesla as much. It closed on the lows actually on Friday. Below the AIM-21 day. When something's below the AIM-21 day, you're out of it. Some guys are probably short this thing and getting paid today. What's Tesla doing now? It's only down 10. So a lot of things have come off lows. This was 379. Okay, so this is now 395, below 405. What's this pivot here? That's 395. Not horrible. I'm glad some things are coming back because there are definitely some people probably trapped, and I hate when people are trapped. But anyway, so now what this does, though, it makes the trade a little harder because things have come off lows. So what does that mean? That means, do they revisit those lows? They don't always have to, but some people think they might. And then if you were the early bird and bought earlier, maybe you're trading around it. But either which way, we'll see how it goes. A lot of things are off the lows, and kind of in no man's land. So you have to take it a little easier. The SMHs are probably where the crowded spot. At least you had a red candle up here after a move, so hopefully you got out of some. The semis right now. So if you go SMHs. They're only down 16, which is a lot still, 6%. 244, which is above 242, which is above the 200-day. So we'll see what spot, that holds. I'm probably not going to be trading the SMHs at all. I'll watch just for some clues. NVIDIA, thank goodness, bearish engulfing candle, got me out. I was long this on Friday, and I left without it, thank goodness. And now, NVIDIA is going to be a crowded trade. NVIDIA is the best fund managers, people in the world are going to be trading this thing. So you just got to be careful. A lot of people probably still own it. They're trying to figure out what's next here. Thank goodness for this candle. Because if it would have closed like this, everybody would have been long it. Instead it closed like that, it gave you a sell signal. If you follow my process. Anyway, now it's down 16, 126. You have 129, 126. This is a spot. Okay, maybe there's a 5-minute low to trade against, and then you have the 200-day there at 119. I'm not going to be looking at many of the semis. Of AVGO is getting beat up. I'm just happy I don't have it because this candle was kind of decent, except for, so I could see if you were in this. Some are in it just from, if you're not that active and you're in it from the post-earnings move to 11, then you're a little underwater. So see how it handles it. It's definitely weaker. All the semis are weaker. It's down 27 points, down 11%. Jeez, thank God. It's a dangerous game sometimes, this market, I'll tell you. That's why a lot of day traders don't take positions overnight. They kind of get upset, when things are trending and they're missing. But when you walk in on a day like today and you're not underwater, then it's like, oh, wow, being a day trader is not so bad. And then you get to just take advantage of the volatility. But anyway, so I'm not in any semis because they were the weakest, right? So why would I be in it? So if you look here, I have a little leftover TSM calls, which made some sense. They had earnings already. But anyway, Yeah, today's a day you're going to listen for a lot of things. Maybe Trump comes out and says something about it. Maybe Jensen comes out and says something about it. So there are going to be a lot of back and forth, a lot of ways to make some money, I would think. But anyway, so at this point, you're already getting a bit of a bounce off the lows. Um, so Dash, I think Dash will be buyable. I did sell some Dash into this move to 184. If you remember, I started buying Dash again right around here, trimmed into 184. So I would think, it's buyable. There's no AI chips in Dash. It's down 2.6%. Except for it's just a great stock. If they're, reworking valuations on all the great stocks, then it's not gonna, it's not gonna really have a good move. So I think that's why Reddit's worth watching too. Reddit doesn't have, AI chips. And it's been one of the stronger ones. So see if 173 holds on Reddit. If you're trading Reddit, it's right now above that. That's not down that much. So I think, it'll be interesting if like Reddit and Dash can go green. I would stay away from Palantir just because, you know, I don't know. It's got a, it benefited a lot the last few years with the whole AI scenario. So if they want to, get an excuse to keep it off, I think Palantir is just, you got to be a little careful. That's all I'm saying. You don't want to be in the battleground. You want to be where the low-hanging fruit is, I guess. So out of Reddit, Dash, and Palantir, which were awesome names the last year or two, I think where Palantir was, just got to be a little careful. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to trade Palantir unless I see something crazy. Probably won't even trade Reddit. I'll probably just because I'm in Dash, I'll add to it and trade around it. Yeah, I guess you could trade the the cruise ships, but I'm not going to. At some point, I guess we have to have, a different list. Our list changes based on, the market every few months. Good sectors come in, sectors rotate, and we figure that out. But that's why the semis we haven't been that active in because they've lagged. So anyway, ONON, again, sneaker company, not AI chips. Was at a high. I did reduce some on Friday because I owned it from here. We had a great play with options and stock, and now I'll see maybe you could buy some more back into 57.50. That would be a spot, and we'll see how it goes. Listen, TLTs are up a bit, so basically we'll see if that helps the tape. If the TLTs stay up, that means rates are going lower. That means maybe a lot less spending on all this kind of stuff helps the whole inflation picture, which makes the Fed a little bit more dovish. Just little things to think about, but really the thing you got to do is let the market tell you, what's next. We're gonna get a lot of emotional price discovery today. So when you get emotional price discovery, you want to be careful. You want to pick and choose your spots. You want to maybe wait for a stronger signal versus just guessing and getting in places that might not work. Some people might short the first bounce and say we're heading down. Now is the time. We're going to get annihilated, and then all of a sudden we grind up and take back half of this down move. So again, try and have multiple plans in your head and then execute on them versus having too many opinions in your head and then not watching the action. All right, it's 8:25. I got to jump. I have a Siri XMSR, what's it called? Interview at 8:35, which was planned. Otherwise, I would spend a little bit more time. But then so far at this time, all I did is cover some spies. Okay, I thank goodness I put them on, and hopefully you guys put them on also. I bought a tiny bit of Amazon, a tiny bit of IBIT. This 595 is a spot, and then 589 we're already came off of that. So we'll see what's next. Where's the spies right now? The spies are 590, 590, kind of exactly right where we broke out from. We're at the downtrend, so not so horrible. And the low of the morning was 589.75, which was this gap, which was the CPI gap. So we'll see what happens here. And we'll be prepared, and we're going to execute. That's what we do. And no hoping and praying in trading. That's you want to get some good messages to the gods. Like today, I picked up 3 pieces of trash at 7-Eleven, not 7-Eleven, Dunkin' Donuts versus 1 piece of trash. So maybe that helps a little bit, but that's just for the karma. Anyway, all right, I got to jump. I'll be back on, though, around 9 o'clock, and we'll go from there. It's true. I've been picking up 1 piece of garbage every single day for 6 years. Today I picked up 3. All right, I got to jump.